Hello, citizens of the United States. This is Rick Berry reporting to you live from Missouri. We just got news of a slave that ran away from his owner, John Stanford. The name of the slave is Dred Scott. You may recognize Dred Scott's name because of his previous trial regarding his freedom. Scott thought that he should be a free citizen because Missouri was a free state. The court disagreed with this decision and denied Scott's request of freedom. The court ruled that Scott was not free because no blacks were considered citizens. They believed they were property. Now to Tom interviewing a Southern slave owner, Billy Johnson.
I'm here with Billy, a Southern slave owner.
Hey Tom, great to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming. What are your initial feelings on the runaway of Dred Scott?
I think this whole situation is outrageous. If one of my slaves ever tried to run away, I would probably end up beating them. I don't know how John Stanford could let this happen.
Here is some footage of Billy Johnson beating his slave. Okay, Billy, next question. How do you keep your slaves from running away?
That's a good question, Tom. The first day I meet my slaves, I make sure that they know that I am the boss. All my slaves know that it won't work out well for them if they even think about escaping. Also, I have overseers scattered throughout all of my property. They make sure that none of the slaves even plan on escaping.
Have you ever had an experience of a slave trying to run away?
Yes, Tom. One time I had this one experience where one of my overseers developed a relationship with one of the slaves, and one night he was trying to help her escape, but luckily I have many overseers scattered throughout all of the property, and so he saw this going down. And what I do is I train my overseers to shoot on sight, I guess, and so when he saw this going down, he shot the slave in the leg, and luckily she didn't escape. And after that, I got that overseer out of there, and now I usually have most of my overseers people that I trust and know that won't do anything.
Are you familiar with Dred Scott's claim?
Yes, I am.
I assume so, but for those of you that do not know Dred Scott's claim, he filed suit in the Missouri state courts for his freedom on the grounds that residents in a free territory had liberated him. After 9 years, his case was heard by the U.S. Supreme Court, where 5 of the 9 justices were Southerners. The court considered 3 questions. Was Scott a citizen of Missouri, and hence within the jurisdiction of the federal court there? Did residents in a free area of the United States automatically entitle Scott to his freedom? Was the Missouri Compromise constitutional? Have your slaves heard about Dred Scott's claim?
Absolutely not, Tom. We make sure the slaves would never find out. We keep them sheltered from the real world so they don't know what they're missing. We try to dwindle them as much as possible to the point where they are too weak to run away.
Thanks, Billy. Back to you, Rick.
Breaking news. Our cameraman just got a glimpse of Dred Scott escaping. Tom saw what he believed to be Dred Scott. He was able to get Scott's attention and convince him to answer a few questions.
Hello, Dred. Thank you for doing this interview with us. In the last couple of hours, how have you been feeling?
Well, I feel like a new man. I've never been this nervous since I've in my life. I've been fighting for this freedom for a while now, and I finally got it.
In your trial, the judge came to the decision that you and all black people cannot be citizens or obtain freedom. How does this make you feel?
This makes me feel like we as a black race are less than everyone else. I don't think it is fair in any way, shape, or form that a human being born in the U.S. is not considered a citizen because of the color of their skin. I hope my case helped people realize that we are equal.
I would hope so too. What are your plans now?
I plan to find myself a wife and start a family with her. I want to live a regular life just like all the other white folks around here, man.
Thanks for the interview, Tom. That was some valuable information. Yesterday, January 31st, 2015, was the 150th anniversary of the 13th Amendment, which was passed on January 31st in 1865. Dred Scott's request for freedom was denied, and the response by free blacks to the decision was swift and angry. They objected to the ruling that black slaves and the free descendants of slaves could not claim citizenship or bring suit in court. Despite the furor over the case, Scott's owner freed him a few months after the decision. On May 26, 1857, Scott continued to live in St. Louis until his death on September 17, 1858. Although black men would not become American citizens until the ratification of the 14th Amendment in 1868, Dred Scott's bid for freedom remained the most momentous judicial event of the century. The decision on Dred Scott electrified the country. The court had ruled that black people were not citizens of the United States, and that an act of Congress, the Missouri Compromise of 1820, was unconstitutional. It also redefined the relationship between the states and the federal government, making it possible for slavery to expand into territories. The decision was a clear-cut victory for the South. The North viewed it with alarm.
Hey, Dred, need a new pair of shoes?
Oh, dude! Thanks, Rick. Really means a lot, man. Trying to get to this rubble and this dirt out here in my bare feet, man, thanks a lot.
No problem. Get your newest pair of Nike Air Maxes at your nearest outlet. Thank you for tuning in with us today at Oh Don't Do It, Oh My God News. Catch us next week as we have an interview with the famous Frederick Douglass. And this is Rick Berry signing off.